I've held human hearts in my hands, hundreds, maybe thousands of them. I've seen them strong, damaged, fighting, and giving up. And after all these years, all these life and death moments, I'm telling you, there's one thing, one single solitary habit I see in so many, especially as we age, that's a silent executioner for the spirit, and then, inevitably, for the body. It's not the usual suspects, it's something far more insidious, far more heartbreaking. Please, I am begging you, stay with me until the very end of this. The final insight I have to share is the most powerful, the one that I believe, with every fiber of my being, can change everything. This isn't just about adding years to your life. This is about adding life to your years. What I'm talking about is a kind of silent surrender. It's not a dramatic event, no fireworks, no sudden collapse. It's a slow fade, a quiet dimming of the inner light that I, as a surgeon, can almost feel the absence of when I'm looking at a patient, even before I see the scans, even before I make the first incision. It's the patient who comes in, their physical heart might be repairable, we have the technology, the skill, but there's a hollowness in their eyes, a resignation in their voice, a sense that they've already, on some profound, soul-deep level, clocked out. They've stopped fighting for joy, for connection, for meaning. And believe me, a heart, no matter how skillfully repaired, struggles to beat with vigor in a chest that has already conceded defeat to life itself. This isn't about the natural slowing down that comes with age. This is a premature, often unconscious decision to stop living fully, to stop engaging with the rich tapestry of existence simply because the calendar pages have turned. It's a retreat, an internal retirement from the vibrancy of what it means to be truly alive. And it's more devastating to long-term health and happiness than almost any physiological factor I can name. I see it reflected in the way their tissues heal or don't, the way their bodies respond to treatment, the way they either grasp for life post-surgery or just exist. This surrender, this quiet quitting on the essence of being, it creates an environment within the body where disease can flourish, where the heart quite literally loses its reason to keep beating with passion. And the most tragic part, this silent surrender often masquerades as wisdom, as acceptance, even as peace. Society whispers, you've done enough. It's time to rest, to slow down, to expect less. And there is, of course, a beauty in finding peace in simplicity, in letting go of the frantic pace of earlier years. But there's a vast difference between finding serene contentment and succumbing to a creeping apathy, a disengagement that starves the soul. This false comfort tells you that it's okay to stop dreaming, to stop learning, to stop reaching out, to stop feeling deeply. It wraps you in a blanket of low expectations, convincing you that this muted existence is the natural progression, the inevitable winding down. But what I see from my unique vantage point is that this comfort is a gilded cage. It soothes the immediate anxieties perhaps, the fear of failure, the sting of disappointment, the effort of engagement. But the price is astronomical. It's the slow erosion of your vitality, your resilience, your very life force. The heart is a muscle, yes, but it's also an organ of profound emotional resonance. It thrives on engagement, on purpose, on love, on feeling connected to something larger than itself. When we numb ourselves to the richness of life, to its challenges and its joys, under the guise of taking it easy, we are, in essence, telling our hearts that their work is done, that their passionate rhythm is no longer required. And the heart tragically listens. This isn't true peace, it's a negotiated truce with mediocrity, a quiet agreement to let the fire within dwindle to embers. And it's a habit that starts in the mind but writes its devastating story directly onto the heart. So where does this insidious habit, this quiet decision to internally retire from the fullness of life, actually come from? It doesn't just appear out of thin air as we age. It's often rooted in deep, unseen wounds, the accumulation of life's inevitable heartaches, disappointments, and the subtle, often unacknowledged traumas that etch themselves into our psyche. Perhaps it's the ghost of a dream unfulfilled, a love lost, a betrayal that never quite healed. Maybe it's the heavy cloak of regrets, the what-ifs and if-onlys that play on a loop in the quieter moments, convincing us that our best days are irrevocably behind us, that the future holds only a diminishing version of what once was. These unresolved pains, these shadows we haven't dared to face and integrate, they act like anchors, weighing down our spirit, making the prospect of continued, vibrant engagement feel exhausting, even pointless. Fear of further pain, fear of mortality, fear of irrelevance. These are powerful undercurrents that can pull even the strongest among us towards the shores of disengagement. It becomes easier, almost a form of self-protection, to simply stop trying, to stop caring so deeply, to build emotional walls that keep out further hurt, but also tragically keep out joy, connection, and the very essence of what makes life worth living. This isn't a conscious choice most of the time. It's a slow, creeping capitulation, a response to the accumulated weight of an unexamined life. The unhealed parts of ourselves that whisper that it's safer to retreat than to continue braving the unpredictable, sometimes painful, beautiful mess of being fully human. And the heart, that incredible organ, bears the brunt of this internal emotional siege, long before any physical symptoms might manifest. But here's the truth that I've seen bloom even in the sterile environment of a recovery room, a truth that echoes the deepest wisdom traditions. The kind of understanding that someone like a Shaolin master embodies through years of inner cultivation. That spark, that inner fire, it never truly goes out unless we let it. It can be rekindled. This isn't about denying the realities of aging or pretending we can turn back the clock to our 20s. It's about fundamentally shifting our relationship with ourselves, with our life force, with the present moment, regardless of our chronological age. It's about choosing, consciously and deliberately, to fan those embers back into a flame. This involves a profound understanding that our mental state, our inner narrative, has a direct and powerful impact on our physical vitality. It means cultivating presence, truly inhabiting each moment instead of dwelling in the regrets of the past or the anxieties of the future. It means finding purpose, and purpose doesn't have to be a grand, world-changing ambition. It can be found in mentoring someone, in learning a new skill, in tending a garden, in acts of kindness, in deep connection with loved ones, in creativity, in laughter. It's about saying yes to life in small ways and large, every single day. It's the courage to remain curious, to keep learning, to stay open to new experiences and new perspectives. This is not about fighting age. It's about embracing the wisdom, the depth, and the unique opportunities that this chapter of life offers. It's about understanding that the mind is a powerful tool, and just as it can lead us into that silent surrender, it can also lead us back to a state of vibrant, engaged aliveness. This inner work, this conscious cultivation of a positive, engaged mindset is as crucial to heart health, to overall well-being, as any diet or exercise regimen. Your heart, the one I've dedicated my life to understanding and healing, needs more than just clear arteries and steady electrical impulses to truly thrive. It craves meaning, it yearns for connection, it expands with love and generosity, and it quite literally weakens in the face of prolonged isolation, bitterness, and disengagement. There's an undeniable, intricate dance between our emotional landscape and our physical heart. Think about it. When you feel joy, your heart feels light, expansive. When you experience deep love or compassion, there's a warmth that radiates from your chest. Conversely, sustained stress, grief, resentment, or that pervasive sense of apathy I mentioned. These emotions create a physiological cascade within the body that directly impacts cardiovascular health. It's not woo-woo, it's science. Chronic emotional distress leads to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, hormonal imbalances, all direct risk factors for heart disease. So, when I speak of this silent surrender, this internal retirement, I'm describing a state of being that actively undermines the heart's innate desire for vibrant, joyful expression. Your heart knows when you've started to give up on yourself, when you've closed yourself off from the wellspring of love, purpose, and connection. It registers this withdrawal not just as a metaphor, but as a physiological reality. It's a call then, a deep, resonant call from the very core of your being, to nourish your heart not just with good food and exercise, but with experiences and emotions that make it sing. that remind it of its profound capacity for joy, for resilience, for connection to the very pulse of life itself. Treating the heart involves treating the whole person, their stories, their emotions, their spirit. So, if any of this resonates, if you feel even a flicker of recognition, a sense that perhaps in some subtle ways you've begun to make this silent internal retreat, I am speaking directly to you now with every ounce of conviction I possess. This isn't a judgment, it's an urgent, heartfelt plea from someone who has seen up close the devastating consequences of letting that inner light dim. The power to change this trajectory is not outside of you. It's not in a pill or a new medical breakthrough or in waiting for circumstances to magically improve. It resides within you right now, in this very moment. It lies in the courageous decision to choose differently, to choose engagement over apathy, to choose curiosity over resignation, to choose connection over isolation, to choose to fan that inner spark, no matter how small it may seem right now, back into a steady, warming flame. This moment, right here, listening to these words, can be the pivotal turning point. It can be the instant you decide to stop being a passive observer of your own life unfolding according to some pre-written script of decline, and instead become the active, conscious author of your remaining chapters. This isn't about grand, overwhelming gestures. It's about the small, consistent choices you make every single day. The choice to learn something new, to reach out to an old friend, to express gratitude, to forgive, to laugh, to move your body with joy, to sit in stillness and appreciate the gift of your own breath. Each one of these choices is a declaration of life, a message to your heart that you are still in the game, still playing full out. The urgency I feel comes from knowing how quickly this pattern of disengagement can become entrenched, how rapidly it can steal precious vitality. But I also feel an immense hope, because I know the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the profound capacity for renewal that lies within each of us, waiting to be reawakened. And so, we arrive at the heart of it, the one habit I am truly begging you, especially as the years advance, to stop, to consciously dismantle with every fiber of your being. It is the habit of predictive resignation. It's the habit of looking at your age, your past experiences, your current circumstances, or the perceived limitations of your body, and allowing these factors to dictate a future of inevitable decline, of quiet disengagement, of a slow, inexorable fading away. It's the habit of unconsciously deciding that your best days are over, that your capacity for joy, growth, love, and contribution has an expiration date, and then living in accordance with that deeply limiting belief. This predictive resignation is the silent killer I see, because it saps your will, it dulls your spirit, and it tells your heart day after day that there's less and less to beat for. The most powerful insight, the one I need you to carry away from this, is that your life is not a foregone conclusion written by the number of candles on your cake. The antidote to this devastating habit is the daily, conscious, active choice for life. It's not just about not resigning, it's about actively, passionately, and continuously choosing to engage with your existence, to seek out joy, to cultivate love, to embrace growth, to find meaning, right up until your very last breath. It is the unwavering commitment to meet each day, not with the weary sigh of predictive resignation, but with an open heart and the courageous inquiry: what beauty can I create or discover today? How can I connect? How can I learn? How can I love? This choice, made consistently, is the most profound medicine for your heart, for your soul, for your entire being. Stop predicting your decline and start scripting your vitality. Your heart is waiting. Your life is waiting. Please don't let it wait any longer. Choose life, fully and unapologetically, starting now. This is the wisdom that keeps the heart beating strong, not just in the chest, but in the very soul of who you are. Don't let that choice pass you by.